Welcome to the Tejswi IP show, and welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are launching into something, well, truly intriguing from the world of space technology and intellectual property. We've been digging into a recent news article that highlights a pretty significant development out of Russia, a new patent.
That's right. And it seems to point towards some rather ambitious plans, in orbit and maybe even beyond.
Definitely. The source material gives us a glimpse into their strategic direction, focusing on capabilities that could, well, reshape how we think about operations in Earth orbit.
And potentially around the moon, too.
Absolutely. So our mission for this deep dive is to take this key news item, try to unpack the core technology behind this patent.
Understand its purpose.
Exactly. Its stated purpose and future applications, and see how it fits into the bigger picture, the evolving landscape of space exploration.
Particularly in the context of Russia's own space station plans. Let's get into it.
All right, let's unpack this then. At the heart of the news is this patented technology. It sounds highly specialized. What exactly is this patent for?
Okay, so the core of the patent, based on the article, is for a system. A system designed to launch automatic spacecraft directly from an orbital station.
Automatic spacecraft. So like drones or small satellites.
Essentially, yeah. Think sophisticated space drones or very small specialized satellites. They'd be capable of operating independently once they're deployed from the station.
Okay. Launching drones from a space station, that's the main idea. But the source, it emphasizes something unique about the setup, doesn't it?
Precisely. The article really highlights the ambition here. The intention, it says, is to create the world's first drone platform.
World's first.
That is specifically designed with robotic maintenance support. So it's not just about, pushing them out.
Right.
It's about having a dedicated orbital hub for these drones, equipped with robotic systems. Systems that can presumably service them, maybe refuel, perhaps even repair them while they're docked or nearby.
Okay.
That combination, the dedicated platform plus the robotic maintenance, that's what's being called out as unique.
World's first drone platform with robotic maintenance. Okay, that's a strong claim from the news source. And this wasn't just quietly filed, was it? The source mentions it came up at a high level.
Indeed. According to the article, this development was seen as significant enough that First Deputy Prime Minister Denis Manturov actually informed President Vladimir Putin about it.
Wow.
Yeah, during a recent discussion. So that level of announcement really signals its perceived strategic importance, for their tech and space goals.
Okay, so the patent is for launching and robotically maintaining these space drones from orbit, which naturally makes you ask, why? Why this tech? What's the goal here?
Well, the stated purpose seems to be twofold, based on the reporting. First, this tech is planned for testing.
Okay, where?
The upcoming Russian Orbital Station, ROS. So that tells us it's baked into their next-gen space infrastructure plan.
So it's not just a concept on paper, it's directly tied to hardware they're actively developing.
Exactly. And the second part of the purpose, which really broadens the scope, is that this patented system is expected to play a key role in upcoming lunar exploration missions.
Lunar exploration, okay, that definitely takes it beyond just Earth orbit. How does launching drones from an orbital station help with missions to the moon?
Right, that's where you have to connect the dots a bit.
Yeah.
Based on the described capabilities. If the orbital station itself is positioned correctly, maybe in lunar orbit or perhaps even Earth orbit as a sort of staging post, having a platform that can deploy multiple small automatic spacecraft could be incredibly useful for lunar activities.
Okay, give me an example. What would that look like?
Well, imagine the station is orbiting the moon. Instead of sending, say, separate big lunar orbiters for every task,
Right.
the station could deploy a whole swarm of smaller, specialized drones. Maybe some do detailed surface mapping, others could check the gravity field, perhaps some act as comms relays for things on the surface.
We're scouting landing sites.
Exactly. Scouting potential landing spots or resources from orbit. And crucially, if these drones need servicing or maybe refueling,
They go back to the station.
they could return to the station, and the patented robotic system handles the maintenance.
Ah, okay. So the station becomes this kind of versatile base camp in lunar orbit, launching and supporting multiple robotic scouts. That makes the robotic maintenance part even more critical, doesn't it? Especially far from Earth.
Absolutely. It shifts the paradigm, from single large probes to maybe a system approach. Mothership station supporting a fleet of smaller, adaptable assets.
And the robotic maintenance means they could operate longer.
Potentially, yes.
Right.
Significantly longer, maybe, without needing risky human intervention in that harsh lunar environment. I mean, the technical hurdles for robotic maintenance in space are huge.
I can imagine.
Complex arms, precise movements in microgravity, dealing with vacuum, temperature swings, vision systems. It's tough. This patent suggests they believe they have a way forward for this kind of automated servicing.
That's quite a powerful combination of capabilities. And you said the testing ground is the planned Russian Orbital Station, ROS. What else does the source tell us about ROS itself, the station's development?
Yeah, the news article gives some specifics on the ROS project timeline and structure. We know work is actively underway.
Okay.
It's intended for deployment in a near-polar orbit.
Near polar. That's interesting. Different from the ISS orbit, right?
Very different. The ISS is in a lower inclination orbit, passes over most populated areas. Good for access. A near-polar orbit means it passes over or close to the poles each time around.
Which is better for, what, Earth observation?
Often, yeah. Good for observing high latitudes or certain science goals, maybe reconnaissance tasks where you want to cover the whole globe's longitude range over time. It suggests a different mission focus than ISS.
And the timeline for ROS deployment.
The source gives an overall window between 2027 and 2033.
That's a decent stretch. So they're building it in stages, I assume. Modular.
They are. The article outlines a modular construction plan. Phase 1 is about forming the core structure, and that's planned to be done by 2030.
Okay, core structure by 2030. What modules are involved?
It involves launching several key pieces. First up is the Scientific and Power Module, the SPM. That's scheduled for late 2027.
STM sounds straightforward. Power and science labs.
That's the usual role, yes. Provide electricity for everything, including this drone platform and robotics, and space for experiments. After the SPM, the article mentions the Universal Node, Gateway, and Base modules are planned for launch by 2030.
Okay, let's quickly break this down. Base module, that's like the main hub, living quarters, controls.
Probably. Typically the foundation, yes. Life support, crew areas, main controls. The Universal Node module, think of it as a connector hub.
Docking ports.
Exactly. Multiple docking ports, letting other modules or visiting vehicles connect and link up resources.
And the gateway module, what's that for?
Often a specialized airlock, maybe. Or a connection point for specific spacecraft or for spacewalks. Could also link different station sections or future expansions.
Yeah.
So the plan is, by 2030, these 4 core modules are up there. Power, connections, base ops, access points.
Forming the operational heart. And phase 2.
Phase 2 is scheduled for 2031 through 2033. The source just says this phase involves docking 2 target modules.
Target modules. Vague.
A bit vague, yeah. Doesn't specify their function. Logically, they'd add more capability, maybe dedicated labs, more power, or maybe even specialized facilities built around this patented drone system itself.
Right, okay. So we have this unique patented tech launching and robotically fixing space drones tied directly to a new independent station, ROS, being built from 2027 to 2033 in this near-polar orbit. How does all this, especially the timing, fit with the ISS?
Yes, the timing. This is where the source points out something quite interesting. The projected timeline for getting that core ROS structure operational by 2030 is expected to coincide pretty closely with the planned deorbiting of the International Space Station, which is also anticipated around 2030.
Oh, right.
And the news article itself notes that the ISS program has provided, extensive experience in collaborative space partnerships between Roscosmos and NASA, ESA, others.
So just as that big era of international collaboration in low Earth orbit, the ISS era, might be ending, Russia is planning to have its own independent platform, ROS, ready to go.
That seems to be the implication.
And this new station is specifically designed to host and test this novel drone tech linked to their lunar goals.
That correlation in timing, as the source presents it, certainly suggests a strategic pivot. They've gained huge experience from ISS collaboration, no doubt. But now they're investing in independent infrastructure designed for their own national priorities.
Like this patented drone system for exploration beyond LEO.
Exactly. It feels like a clear signal of their post-ISS strategy.
Okay, let's bring this back to you, our listener. You might be sitting there thinking, okay, space drones, robots fixing them, a new Russian station. Interesting tech stuff, sure. But why should I really care about this patent in ROS?
It's a fair question. Based on what we can infer from the source, it matters for a few reasons, I think. First, this patented tech. It could genuinely change how we explore and use space.
How so?
Well, if a station can autonomously launch and manage multiple specialized robotic helpers, that just opens up new ways to do science surveys, look for resources, maybe even assemble things in space or make repairs.
Making it potentially more efficient, cheaper.
Potentially, yeah. More efficient, maybe cheaper, possibly less risky than relying only on huge, complex single satellites or needing astronauts for every little task on these robotic platforms. That robotic maintenance piece is really crucial.
Right, tackling a big hurdle for long-term automated stuff far from Earth.
Precisely. And then there's the ROS project itself. Even setting aside this specific patent, Russia moving towards its own platform after decades deeply involved in the ISS, that shifts the global space dynamic.
How might that play out?
Well, it could lead to different kinds of international cooperation in the future. Maybe more focused joint missions instead of shared infrastructure, or potentially more competition in certain areas like orbital servicing or lunar logistics.
And the fact that this is a patent they're highlighting.
That's another layer, isn't it? A patent isn't just a technical idea, it's a legal claim. Announcing it like this, for this kind of advanced space tech, it's a declaration of intent, an assertion of IP in a really cutting-edge field.
Shows serious investment and planning.
Right. Not just in building the hardware, but in owning the underlying methods and systems. It's kind of an aha moment, showing how IP is a critical piece of national strategy, even in the 21st century space race.
Makes their direction feel more tangible. Okay, let's try and pull this all together. Summarize the key takeaways from digging into this news source.
Okay. We started with Russia's patented tech for launching automatic spacecraft drones from an orbital station. And the ambition, noted in the source, is creating the world's first platform like this, with robotic maintenance support.
And we learned this is directly linked to testing on their upcoming Russian Orbital Station, ROS, with the stated goal of playing a key role in future lunar exploration.
We detailed the ROS development timeline from the article. Work's underway, targeting that near-polar orbit, phase deployment between 2027 and 2033.
Including launching core modules like the SPM, the Universal Node, Gateway, and Base modules by 2030.
Right, and we place this in context, noting the ROS core operational timeline lines up roughly with the planned ISS deorbiting around 2030, suggesting that strategic shift towards an independent platform after leveraging ISS experience.
It's a complex picture, definitely. Significant tech development, strategic timing, and a clear focus on building specific step capabilities, all underlined by asserting IP with this patent. Indeed. And thinking about this specific patented capability, this robotic drone platform in orbit, combined with the timing of a new national station as the ISS era potentially closes. Here's something for you to mull over.
Okay.
Given this move towards specialized national orbital platforms and unique patented systems like this drone launcher, what does this suggest about the future landscape of space exploration? Are we heading towards more collaboration on specific grand challenges, or maybe an increasing focus on distinct national capabilities and specialized mission types? Could it change the balance of cooperation versus competition up there?
That is a fascinating question to ponder, isn't it?
It really is. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Russia's new space patent, the ROS station plans, and what it might all mean for the future in space.
My pleasure. Always interesting to track these developments.
We certainly hope this exploration of the source material has given you some valuable insights to think about.
Thank you.
And stay tuned for more upcoming informative and interesting episodes.